The records of the Ancient Alchemy Tower whisper of events so strange that even the most seasoned masters blinked in disbelief. Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 2087, Chapter 2091, chronicles the shocking upheaval within 100 Dragons City, where Lin Yongchang, heir of a 5-star grandmaster, met a grisly fate at the hands of unseen powers, leaving spectators and elites alike paralyzed in terror. Ling Han, the unassuming prodigy, navigates the treacherous waters of alchemical rivalry, deceit, and the invisible hand of a celestial king, while the looming contest of spirit refinement threatens to upend every expectation. As poisoned pills explode, hidden interventions unfold, and loyalties are tested, the stage is set for a battle where mastery, cunning, and luck collide. The air hangs heavy with tension, and the question remains, will Ling Han's path to ultimate triumph survive the storm gathering around him? Imagine a stage set not in any ordinary realm, but in the hallowed halls of the Ancient Alchemy Tower, where the air hums with the weight of centuries, and every breath carries the pressure of countless lives devoted to the Tao of alchemy. Here reputations are forged, crushed, and legends born in the blink of an eye. And yet, even in such a place, injustice can rear its head, hiding behind etiquette, ceremony, and the illusion of fairness. Ling Han, a rising star in the world of 4-star alchemists, faced what should have been a routine contest of skill, concocting the dreaded black tortoise earth pill. For context, this pill was no ordinary challenge. Its crafting demanded not only precision but intuition, an intimate knowledge of herbs, fire, and the subtle balance between heaven and earth. Most would tremble at its difficulty. Even seasoned veterans often failed, yet Ling Han, calm and deliberate, completed it. Enter Lin Yongchang, his rival, a figure whose confidence once bordered on arrogance. Witnessing Ling Han's success sent a ripple of shock through him. This was no ordinary opponent. Ling Han's skill hinted at a hidden depth, a mastery that could easily eclipse others in both her recognition and pill refinement. Lin Yongchang's initial relief at scoring slightly higher on his own concoction quickly gave way to a simmering determination. He realized that victory would not come from shortcuts or intimidation. He would need to confront Ling Han directly, with every ounce of his strength and cunning. And then came the reckoning, the final scores. Lin Yongchang secured first place, no surprise there. But the shock and the simmering injustice came with the placement of Ling Han. Despite the brilliance of the Black Tortoise Earth Pill, despite the difficulty and subtlety of his work, Ling Han was ranked only 6th in the pill contest, and 3rd overall after combining scores with herb recognition. A gap of 5 points separated him from Lin Yongchang, a chasm almost impossible to overcome in the next phase, Spirit Refinement. The numbers didn't just sting, they threatened to erase his chance at ultimate victory. Here is where the story reveals the harsh truths of alchemical and cultivation worlds. Merit alone rarely dictates success. Connections, reputation, and politics within powerful institutions, like the 5-star grandmasters behind Lin Yongchang, can shift the scales. Ling Han was talented, perhaps destined for greatness, but the tower's hidden machinations had placed him at a disadvantage. The alchemical community outside buzzed with speculation. Had Fan Luoling's mysterious pill been tampered with? Was this deliberate suppression of Ling Han an act orchestrated by the tower's elite? Every careful observer sensed it. The game was no longer fair. The analysis of this moment goes deeper. Ling Han's predicament exemplifies the true challenge of cultivation. Talent meets obstacle, skill meets scheming. To even dream of surpassing Lin Yongchang, he would need to leap from 5th refinement to 6th refinement in a mere 10 days. A feat that even in the span of a millennium would push cultivators to the brink of their limits. This is the defining pressure of wuxia life. Not only mastering the Tao, but navigating treacherous human currents alongside the immortal arts. It's a test of both strength and wisdom. Yet, the emotional resonance is equally crucial. Ling Han's response is measured, contemplative, but tinged with frustration. He does not lash out impulsively, recognizing that raw power alone cannot right the scales of manipulated fate. Contrast this with the voices around him. Fu Yue, enraged. The Empress, ice-cold with authority demanding vengeance. Their instinct is violence, a desire to defy the rules of heaven itself. In the wuxia world, such impulses illustrate the tension between mortal emotion and celestial law. Even righteous fury can be crushed under the weight of a 5-star alchemist's influence. Lin Yongchang, shielded by lineage and the tower's support, is untouchable. To act against him recklessly would invite calamity. So what does this teach us about the Tao of alchemy and the art of cultivation? Success is never merely about skill or purity of intent. It is about timing, perception, politics, and sometimes surviving the forces that manipulate the outcome. Ling Han's path forward is clear, yet perilous. He must cultivate beyond mortal limits, refine his spirit with precision, and outthink those who seek to suppress him. His story is not one of despair. It is a crucible that will forge not just a master alchemist, but a strategist capable of bending fate itself. And for the audience, one question lingers in the air like a faint, electrifying perfume of a rare herb. Will Ling Han rise above the unfairness, surpass the ceiling imposed by men and masters, and claim the mantle of true champion? Or will the tower's shadows continue to obscure his brilliance? In the world of immortal arts, the answer is never simple, but the struggle itself is the heart of legend. Imagine standing at the edge of ambition, where genius meets recklessness, and every step could tip the balance between glory and ruin. This is where Ling Han finds himself, a young cultivator whose brilliance is only rivaled by his audacity. In a world where the Ancient Alchemy Tower dictates the fate of those who seek mastery, Ling Han faces a dilemma that would make lesser hearts falter. An opponent who seemingly cheats, a system that favors the elite, and the intoxicating risk of rewriting destiny itself. Ling Han's mind races as he sizes up the competition. Fan Luoling's sudden success in Spirit Refinement is suspicious, far too perfect to be natural. And yet the path forward isn't as simple as out-refining her. He has to surpass Lin Yongchang, a formidable heir of the Ancient Alchemy Tower, whose defenses are guarded by ascending origin tier elites. The stakes are immense. One misstep could not only end his pursuit of first place, but also cost him his life. What's fascinating here is Ling Han's psychology. He flirts with madness, weighing the thrill of risk against the rigid structure of cultivation law. Fu Yue, his cautious companion, embodies the voice of reason, warning him that the laws of Hundred Dragon City are not to be trifled with. Ling Han's response isn't compliance, it's a test of boundaries. He's not just challenging his rivals, he's challenging the very system that defines success. And then there's the ingenuity of his strategy. Ling Han doesn't attack directly. He doesn't try to confront Lin Yongchang in a straightforward battle. Instead, he focuses on the tools of spirit refinement, the alchemical pills themselves. Here, we see a key aspect of Xianxia storytelling. True power often lies in subtlety, in manipulating circumstances rather than brute force. Ling Han's use of stealth cultivation, moving unseen through the Black Tower, and eventually leveraging the source powers of heaven and earth, highlights both his skill and his cunning. Even an ascending origin tier elite fails to detect him, treating him as nothing more than a part of the environment. This demonstrates the delicate dance between presence and perception in the cultivation world, how even the mightiest can be blind to what is insignificant or invisible. Ling Han's choice to taint one of Lin Yongchang's alchemical pills is a masterstroke of psychological and strategic warfare. He doesn't aim for mass destruction, just enough to tip the scales in his favor, while leaving the target a chance for survival. It's not just about defeating an opponent, it's about making a statement, about turning the game of spirit refinement into a battlefield of wits, not just raw power. Here we glimpse a recurring theme in wuxia and xianxia tales. Those who survive are often the ones who manipulate not only energy but opportunity. Emotionally, Ling Han teeters between calculated control and the thrill of chaos. He's furious at the injustice of his rival's underhanded methods, yet he tempers his wrath with strategy. This balance between emotion and intellect is what defines a true alchemist warrior in this world. His actions provoke tension not just because of their risk, but because they reveal a deep understanding of cultivation dynamics, how aura, divine senses, and the regulatory structures of the alchemy chambers interact, and how a single exploit can shift the scales of a seemingly fair contest. As viewers, we can't help but ask, what does this say about the morality of power? Ling Han's choices blur the line between righteous vengeance and opportunistic cunning. His path is neither purely heroic nor villainous, It is pragmatic, a reflection of the ruthless ecosystem of cultivation where survival demands creativity and audacity, and this is where the story teases its audience. Who will prevail when intelligence, risk, and moral ambiguity collide? By the time Ling Han secures the red spot and poison fruit and prepares his subtle sabotage, we understand the layers of his approach. He respects the rules enough to avoid outright annihilation, yet he exploits every loophole to advance. It's a demonstration of how mastery in Xianxia isn't just about raw cultivation. It's about reading people, systems, and the ebb and flow of power itself. Ling Han embodies the archetype of the cunning hero, where the sharpest blade is not always forged in steel, but in strategy. So the question lingers as the alchemy chambers stand silent, and the contest looms. How far can ambition stretch before it snaps? Ling Han has gambled on subtlety, stealth, and a pinch of luck. Will it be enough to overtake Lin Yongchang and claim the prize? Or will the precarious balance of 100 Dragons City snap, exposing him to consequences beyond even his most daring calculations? In the world of spirit refinement, every choice echoes through heaven and earth, and Ling Han's story is only beginning to reveal its true intensity. Imagine standing in the heart of a legendary alchemy plaza, the air thick with the scent of rare herbs, the crackle of spiritual flames, and the silent weight of 100 eyes watching every move. Today, the stage is set not just for skill, but for fate itself. As prodigies gather for the third grand competition, a contest that could etch one name into history while crushing another beneath the unforgiving wheel of destiny. Ling Han, our unassuming yet formidable protagonist, enters the inn alone after his quiet departure from the Alchemy Palace. On the surface, he appears calm, detached even. But beneath that composed exterior lies a mind honed by countless spirit refinements, a heart attuned to the Dao of alchemy, and the patience of a tiger ready to strike. Fate is no longer a concept. He intends to carve his own path. As the competition begins, 100 alchemists take their chambers. Each receives a box, each box a vessel of opportunity or ruin. Lin Yongchang, a rival whose arrogance is as palpable as the golden aura of his cultivation, sneers at Ling Han. The disdain is visible, the silent challenge clear. To dare compete with him is laughable. Yet Ling Han's response is a measured smile, a quiet promise of reckoning. Here we see one of the recurring truths in Xianxia. Talent can provoke arrogance, but cunning and composure often prove deadlier than brute power. With the command to begin, the true test unfolds. 12 hours accelerated 100-fold for spirit refinement. Ling Han closes his chamber, isolating himself from distractions. He cycles through the first to fourth refinements with astonishing precision, the culmination of years of practice, mental focus, and mastery over the intricate interplay between spiritual energy and the nine heavens' flame. Yet the fifth refinement, the threshold that separates the masters from the legends, remains the crucible. One misstep, and all prior effort disintegrates into ash. And so it does on his first attempt, the pill collapsing into fiery fragments. A heartbreaking failure, yet this is no ordinary setback. In the world of Xianxia, each failed refinement is a lesson encoded into the practitioner's soul. Outside, the crowd is a living entity, their gazes tracking every flicker of flame, every golden vein that might signify success. The tension magnifies as attention shifts to Fan Luoling, another prodigy whose reputation casts a shadow over the plaza. Here, the story subtly reveals the delicate balance of trust and credibility in alchemy. One misstep, one falsified refinement, and an entire lineage's honor can crumble. The public scrutiny ensures that every refinement is witnessed, and every failure cannot hide behind deception. Meanwhile, Lin Yongchang, previously smug and assured, faces his own trial. 4 refinements pass smoothly, his control over the Tao of heaven and earth seemingly flawless. He edges toward victory, the golden veins wrapping the pill like threads of fate itself. And then, explosion. The 5th refinement collapses, his fortune failing him at the cusp of triumph. Again, a second attempt fails. The audience murmurs, disbelief rippling through the crowd. Even a grandmaster is fallible. Even prestige is no shield against the unpredictability of spirit and flame. This is Xianxia's harsh truth. Mastery is never absolute, and arrogance often precedes humiliation. Amidst this chaos, an enigmatic figure, a seemingly innocuous presence, cloaked, half-concealed, yet unmistakably powerful. intervenes. With subtlety and mischief, this observer manipulates the outcome, turning Lin Yongchang's luck into ruin. Their identity? Hints suggest a loyal guardian of Ling Han, a dog person whose whimsical commentary offers both humor and insight, while showcasing the layered world of allies, secret tactics, and hidden cultivation arts that define the wuxia landscape. This is more than simple interference. It is a calculated assertion that skill alone is never enough, that awareness, preparation, and support are equally vital. What this chapter crystallizes is not just the mechanics of spirit refinement, but the philosophy behind it. Ling Han's journey is a testament to patience, strategy, and the subtle art of self-reliance. Lin Yongchang's downfall is a lesson in hubris, showing how even seemingly invincible power can falter without the right mindset. And the crowd, the witnesses, serve as the moral compass of the alchemy world, constantly evaluating, questioning, and interpreting every action. Their judgment is relentless, mirroring the unforgiving universe that cultivators must navigate. As Ling Han prepares for his next attempt, the air is charged with anticipation. Success is a knife's edge, failure a furnace of lessons. The tension, the stakes, and the unseen currents of fate and strategy leave us with one burning question. Can the quiet, calculating master truly rise above the chaos to claim his place as the champion, or will the unpredictable tides of fortune and human folly intervene once more? In the world of alchemy and cultivation, the answer is never simple, and the next moment may redefine everything. Imagine witnessing a power so immense it bends reality itself, yet you cannot even glimpse the one who wields it. Today we delve into a moment where ambition, arrogance, and cultivation collide, a scene that leaves even the most elite breathless. In the Grand Alchemy Chamber, Lin Yongchang, the favored scion of a 5-star grandmaster, reached for what he thought was his prize, the final alchemical pill. But in that instant, a subtle, almost imperceptible shift occurred. A hand larger, darker, and impossibly powerful snatched the pill. What fell back was no longer a prized concoction, but a grotesque mixture of flesh and blood. Half of Lin Yongchang's hand had corroded before his eyes, the poison spreading like wildfire, a chilling reminder that in the world of cultivation, even the elite are vulnerable to forces beyond comprehension. At this moment, the narrative pivots from simple tragedy to an almost unfathomable display of power. An ascending origin tier elite, himself capable of controlling deadly poisons, rushed in. His training and experience should have made him untouchable, yet even he stumbled, losing teeth to the sheer force of an unseen opponent. This is not just a battle, it's a demonstration of scale, where the invisible hand of a celestial king toys with mortals as if they were mere pieces on a chessboard. Pause here to consider the significance. In Xianxia terms, an ascending origin tier cultivator is already a pinnacle of mortal achievement. To see such a being helpless, thrown around with no recourse, signals intervention by a power leagues above, the celestial realm itself. This hidden hand is not just protection. It is a lesson in humility, a warning that the laws of the mortal or even elite realms are but whispers before true celestial authority. Lin Yongchang's demise is both brutal and instructive. The red-spotted poison fruit, a legendary substance capable of corroding flesh and spirit alike, consumed him entirely. His screams echo the stark reality. Status, lineage, and personal skill mean nothing when faced with a higher Dao. And the commentary is clear. Ambition without foresight, pride without caution, can be instantly obliterated in the crucible of cultivation. What is particularly striking here is the method. No grand entrance, no world-shattering voice, just subtle, precise intervention. The celestial king remained unseen, yet their influence was undeniable. Each stumble of the ascending origin tier, each corroded limb of Lin Yongchang communicated volumes. This is the invisible hand of supreme authority, and it spares no one for arrogance or cruelty. And the aftermath ripples far beyond the chamber. Witnesses, even other high-tier alchemists, are left in stunned silence. The heir of a 5-star grandmaster, a dividing soul-tier practitioner, has fallen, without anyone able to intervene. In Xianxia hierarchy, this is almost unthinkable. It's not just a death, it's a seismic event that shakes perceptions of power, hierarchy, and safety. The lesson resonates. The cosmos has its own enforcers, and even the strongest can be reminded of their place. Meanwhile, in the competition, the ordinary rhythm of spirit refinement continues. Ling Han and Wu Zixu rise above, achieving the fifth refinement, a testament to their skill and composure amidst chaos. Others falter, constrained by their own limits or fear of overreaching. This juxtaposition is critical. It highlights that true mastery is not merely about raw strength or inherited privilege, but the ability to remain steady when the unseen hand of fate or a celestial king intercedes. In commentary, this chapter is a masterclass in tension and perspective. It contrasts mortal ambition against celestial oversight, demonstrating the fragility of status and the inexorable weight of higher cultivation tiers. It also teases future power dynamics. If a celestial king protects Ling Han so openly, what does that imply for his destiny? And what dangers lie ahead for those who underestimate forces far above their comprehension? So, as the alchemical chambers quiet down and the competition moves forward, one truth remains. In a world where poison can melt flesh, and invisible powers can topple elites, the path of cultivation is as much about survival and insight as it is about power. And for those watching, one must always ask, who truly moves the pieces on the board of destiny? Imagine a world where the strongest alchemists don't just craft elixirs, they bend the very laws of heaven and earth. Today we step into such a tale, where ambition, hidden power, and celestial intrigue collide in a spectacle that leaves even the most seasoned cultivators holding their breath. Ling Han had just secured first place in a competition that tested not only skill, but the cunning and intuition of the highest alchemists. But the shadow over his victory was dark. Lin Yongchang had died. Ling Han wasn't surprised. He knew the dangerous currents at play, but what unsettled him was the intervention of a celestial king. This wasn't a minor player. Celestial kings don't intervene lightly, and their involvement suggested layers of unseen power, hidden motives, and dangerous consequences. Ling Han couldn't afford to ponder the mystery just yet. The competition results demanded attention. With the final scores announced, Ling Han's dominance was clear. 100 points in the decisive round, and a cumulative 292 points, narrowly edging out Wu Zixu. To the uninitiated, it was a simple victory. But in the world of cultivation, numbers tell only part of the story. Every point reflected mastery over life, death, and the essence of herbs, the very forces that shape Dao paths and immortal potential. Ling Han's achievement wasn't just skill. It was a testament to his growing comprehension of the heavenly laws and the dangerous alchemy that surrounds them. Yet even victory was tinged with urgency. The prize, a map to the mystery realm containing the celestial medicine, was symbolic more than practical. The true prize lay in survival and progression, in the ability to traverse the yin-soul valleys of the western celestial realm. These valleys are mysterious crucibles, where cultivators refine their souls, breaking through barriers that separate the ordinary from the transcendent. Ling Han and his companions, all at peak stage Yang Soul, needed this step to advance, and they would find no waiting periods, no seasonal openings, only the raw test of skill and resolve. But fate rarely grants a calm journey. As Ling Han's group prepared to depart, a tremor in the air announced a new player, Yu Wenxin, an ascending origin tier elite from the Dara sect, accompanied by a black peacock whose 18 sword-like feathers radiated deadly pressure. His mission was clear: investigate the death of the holy son Tian Qingyue. Yet the encounter was more than a diplomatic procedure. Here was a man whose power could rend mountains, and before him stood Fei Qiang, a fellow ascending origin tier, bloodied and disfigured, a visible testament to the chaos that had erupted before. The tension escalated further when Yu Wenxin identified the culprits, Ji Wuming and Ling Han. Even Fei Qiang, who had previously doubted the existence of such prodigies, was forced to confront reality. Ling Han, the very alchemist now being hunted by a celestial king-level authority, represented an anomaly. A human capable of acts that shook sects and defied conventional cultivation hierarchies. This moment isn't just about power. It's a statement on the unpredictable nature of genius in a world ruled by laws of Dao, might, and fate. And then, the moment of theatrical tension. Xiao Gu, Ling Han's companion, steps forward, mimicking Yu Wenxin perfectly, voice, expression, even fury. It's playful, audacious, and strategically brilliant. The master of mimicry turns the celestial hunter's perception on its head, demonstrating a core principle of cultivation. True mastery isn't just power, its control, ingenuity, and the ability to manipulate perception itself. Yu Wenqin's initial assault, a palm strike augmented with Black Dao-sealed energy, hits Xiaogu, only to reveal the trick. Xiaogu is a secret technique manifestation, a bone form immune to conventional attack. The audience in this tale witnesses firsthand how a true cultivator bends reality with technique and imagination, not brute force alone. From a strategic standpoint, this scene underscores the layers of cultivation mechanics in play. Ascending origin tier power is terrifying. Yet Ling Han's team leverages Dao regulations and transformative secret techniques to neutralize otherwise insurmountable threats. It's a lesson in adaptability and mental agility, proving that in the world of alchemists and celestial elites, raw strength is never enough. Anticipation, creativity, and soul comprehension decide outcomes. So, what does this encounter foreshadow? Ling Han's growing notoriety, already etched into the competition history books, now attracts attention from sects with far-reaching influence. Every step forward carries higher stakes, every move watched by powers capable of judgment on a cosmic scale. As viewers, we sense the tension rising. The next challenge won't be a contest of herbs or knowledge, but a direct confrontation with forces that see Ling Han not merely as a competitor, but a threat to their celestial order. And so the stage is set. Victory? Yes, but surrounded by intrigue, by the scrutiny of celestial kings, and the looming mysteries of the Yin Soul valleys. The question lingers. How will Ling Han navigate the delicate balance of power, survival, and the pursuit of ultimate alchemical mastery in a world that demands both cunning and courage?